Hi, everyone. I'm Andy. I'm the founder and principal of Morning Strategy. It's a work design agency that I run. I often find myself building small tools to support organizational learning and productivity. And this is one of them. I'm excited to show it to you. It's called Team Decisions, and its purpose is to help you collaborate and make kind of structured decisions that require some like more formal comparisons. So things like procurements, hiring, for example. Anytime you're trying to select between a few different options and you have some selection criteria, often you'll know when you need something like this because um, you have endless meetings trying to discuss options. Biases start to appear. People have difficulty kind of structuring their arguments. And this tool is simple. It allows you to define your criteria, cost timing, for example, and give some guidance to reviewers. And then as you bring kind of submissions in, so if this is a vendor submitting a proposal or if it's just you going out and sort of compiling some different options, then each person you bring in on your team to evaluate will compare the criteria against each submission. So I'm going to show you how this is done and give you sort of a quick view into the tool. So first up, creating a new decision. Now I'm going to use Noah Silverstein's Notion versus Coda comparison, and I'm a 100% Coda guy, so this is going to be biased, not pretending otherwise. But let's say our decision is a all-in-one workspace. Okay, and our goal is to buy the best workspace for our team. Okay, we're going to call it a procurement. It's in the planning phase. If we wanted to, we could put a link to, if we had a decision brief or some document outlining how we had come to this need, then we can do that there. For each criteria, people are going to be scoring based on a kind of simple slider scale, and this allows you to set that scale for each decision. So just for simplicity, I'm going to reduce the maximum to 5. So that means it's just a sliding scale between 1 to 5 for every criteria. Okay, so we're back. You can see each of your decisions here. You can make it, set it to make it in focus, and that just for the rest of the tool defines like what decision are we actually talking about. It's also evaluator specific. So one team member can be looking at one decision while another looks at a different decision. Next up, we want to add evaluation criteria, and there's 2 ways to do that. You can just generate a new criteria from scratch. So for example, you put like maker pricing. Okay, so this is very important for me to, so I'm going to give it a weight here, say 30 out of 100. It can actually be out of whatever you want. But in this case, it's important to me that the pricing not be per user, but per power user or maker. Okay, and that's how Coda does their pricing. In addition to adding just new criteria like that, I can also go and look in my library of criteria and copy things over. So for example, if reputation is something that's important, I can just copy that through experience, that kind of thing. So just a way to leverage your existing criteria. In this case, I'm just going to add a few more here. So okay, so now we'll go down and add evaluators. These are the only 2 I've got in here, so we'll just add them. They happen to both be my profiles. And we're good. So again, you can build as many evaluators in here as you want from your team and just select whoever you need for each different decision. Now for the submissions. So, again, if someone was submitting you formal proposals, then this is where you would put put each of those in. You can see there's a submission link and an upload. If you want to upload a file directly here, add the website, for example. In this case, I'm just going to say Coda and add another new submission for Notion. Okay. All that is left now is to hit these create buttons. And what that's doing is creating a set of evaluations for each one of these evaluators. Now, if I go back later, I can add another criteria, I can add another evaluator, and I just need to click create. It'll update and add new evaluations for those. So then it's on to the individual evaluations. So now you can see it's Andy in this case. Um, Everyone will have their own view of this. So for me now, I can score this. Or let's see, if I hover over criteria, here's my guidance. If I hover over the submission, I can see the details here for the submission. So for buttons, I'm going to say Coda gets full points. They have all the maker pricing. They have well over 200 integrations. I said that was full points, but their mobile experience is only a 3 out of 5. Notion, I'm not so happy with the flexibility of the system. They don't have maker pricing. It's per user pricing. Their integrations are, if I go to Noah's doc here, it looks like 80 versus 600 for Coda. So, I mean, that I'm probably going to drop right down to a 2. And mobile friendly, they do have a better mobile experience. Some people think. So now I want to mark each one of these done. I can come back if I'm not done and reevaluate. I can add my notes partway through. In this case, I'm just going to mark that submission done, that submission done. Okay, so now I'm going to disappear, pause the recording, and do the same for Drew. Okay, now that Drew is done, Andy's done, I can see I'm done, 100% finished here. And go over to the compare and award page. And first up is we see the total submission score. So averaged across all evaluators, you can see Coda I got 90 out of 100, Notion 58 out of 100. Here I can see the completion rate. So that's are all evaluators finished? And I can do some things like, assign these to a short list if I've got a lot of submissions. Next up is seeing the highest scoring submission by criteria. So just another interesting way to see which proposals score the highest for specific criteria. I can now come down and get a little deeper into the discussion. This is where it's nice to have a few people into the doc, actually all the evaluators in the doc at the same time, because you get to look across people's scores and have that kind of collaborative conversation about where people land and how they scored. And to support that, there's this C evaluation gaps greater than. So it's like if there's a difference in score greater than kind of 5 right now, I can slide that to, depending on how kind of small a difference I want to see. And now when I look, I can see, okay, the only real large differences are on button formulas automations, and it's for both submissions. And so, we can have that conversation now just about those things where we differ. And in this case, I might, we both hold to our evaluations on Coda's buttons, formulas, automations, but I might hear Drew's case for why notions are a bit better than I thought. And then I can come in and just adjust my score accordingly and say, okay, well, I'll give them an extra point here. And then coming back, it'll recalibrate. And everything updates up here. So now notion's a little bit higher than it was. And, this one remains. Down here is just another view where you see the per criteria you can compare against the various submissions and have those conversations. And that's it. So now based on this, we might say, great, we're going to award to one Coda and sort of reject Notion in this decision. Yeah, so that's it. It's a pretty flexible tool. I mean, in this case, my wife and I were taking a look at some homes in St. John's. So if I make that the decision of focus over on the compare and award page, this is just like I've got various criteria to look at, which of these houses might suit us better in terms of cost, walkability, character, that kind of thing. So yeah, tool can be used for a lot of different things. Happy to jump on a call, discuss how you might use it in your organization. And yeah, thanks for watching. Happy to answer any questions you have. Take care.